back, y'all. This is episode 2. So, following up from the previous one, I realized a few things. One, I had my reel on upside down, if that makes sense. I guess backwards would be the better name for it. So, we're back at it. Again, the goal is not to catch a fish yet. We just want to try and kind of figure out casting still, because casting is still not our strong suit. So, let's get into it.
Alright, so once again the audio was completely unusable with the high wind and me not having like an actual lavalier or lapel mic. I just decided I would mute the audio for this segment, so I'll kind of just voice over, talk about what I was noticing, what I was seeing throughout this part, and I'll be honest, I got really frustrated towards the end because I was starting to get the cast pattern down, like the 10 and 2 going back and forth, but at the same time I just kept getting snagged, and I'm not sure if it was because of my speed or the cadence, but I was just getting very frustrated, so that's why I ended up stopping the video at the end. So yeah, I'll kind of just give some commentary as we're going through this, and I'll talk about what was happening in the moment. So here on these first few casts, what I really tried to do was kind of pull out a little bit more line, and then using that extra line, figured that would give me a little bit more reach and a little bit more depth in the cast. So I tried doing that, and that definitely helped, which was part of my issue. I think the first time I was trying it, I wasn't pulling out enough slack line to actually cast with some momentum. And so I was starting to realize how the weight interacted with the rod, and kind of was getting a grip on how you need that momentum to actually carry your cast forward. It's not like regular fishing where all the weight is on, your lure, your fish, hook, like the weights, the bobber, all that stuff. This, you actually need the line weight to carry it forward along with the fly, because the fly doesn't have a whole lot of weight to it. So that's kind of what I was realizing on these early initial casts in the video, but I still wasn't getting it. I will still say, even now as I'm editing and recording the audio for this video, I still don't fully get it, but I was starting to make that connection here within these casts, and I think especially towards the end, you can start to see that I'm getting how the weight transfers with the rod and the line. So right about here I get my most tangled mess that I've had so far with the fly fishing experience. It gets wrapped around the rod, wrapped around itself, and it literally tied a knot within the line. So I had to kind of get that situated, but I think it was a good learning experience because I was starting to kind of really just whip the rod back and forth, which I don't fully learn from this mistake. Later on in the video, I'm going to do the same thing and actually end up almost snagging myself. So just something I have to keep in mind is it's not about speed, it's about carrying the momentum. And it's about here I start to try and overcompensate for the wind a little bit. again, the wind was literally like catching my line and just pulling it to the left. So here I kind of angled myself to try and accommodate some of that. It didn't really help a whole lot because that wind was just crazy, but I think it's something good that I can now look back on and realize. So what I'm gonna start looking into now is some things to adjust and adapt to the wind, because it's not always going to be, smooth air and calm. So it's something I definitely want to work on, is how do you still cast even when the wind is not favorable for you. And right here is where I get frustrated and decide I'm going to call it for the day. I end up wrapping the line around myself, almost get it snagged in my back, and so I kind of just decide here was a good stopping point. I was starting to get casting down a little bit more, but also I was tired. I was starting to get a little frustrated that the line wasn't working with me. So here is where I stopped. Now, of course, with all things camera YouTube related, the moment you don't bring your camera with is when something crazy happens. So the next day I end up going fishing again. I go to just the small lake near me, and of course I don't set up my camera because there's a lot of people around and I just didn't want to deal with it. I just wanted to practice. Of course, about my third cast in, I catch my first fish on the fly rod, and I'll put a picture up. So I have officially caught a fish using the fly rod, which is really exciting. But of course, I didn't have it fully on camera to record it as it happened. But here is that fish. But we are going to end the video here. So again, was really excited to at least catch a fish on the fly rod. But again, thank you for watching Chapter 2 of my journey to becoming a pro fly fisherman. Hopefully on the next video I'll have my camera set up and I can actually record me catching the fish rather than just a quick phone picture. But with that, again, thank you guys. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. That stuff really helps me as I'm trying to grow my channel. And if you have any questions or feedback, please leave that in the comments below. Thank you.